Welcome to our safe space to explore the big issues of life and faith. Online we have today another upload to our channels that we have been, it's about something that we've been considering.
Yeah.
We've been considering what about the rest. During this week, as we're filming this, it is Child Mental Health Week. We've been thinking about something in particular, which is rest. It's how much we're resting and whether we're actually preferring to rest.
I think sometimes we kind of have the option of, would I rather like go to sleep or would I rather stay up and play my games and that kind of thing, watch films, and sometimes sleep is the one that kind of gets left behind.
It does a little bit, doesn't
we'd
it?
rather not bother with, you know.
So to get us thinking about our preferences, what we'd prefer to do, what we would rather do, let's have a game of Would You Rather! Okay, Hetty, are you ready? Right, you can join in the comments or whatever. Hetty, would you rather have a mullet or a Mohican?
Okay, a mullet or a Mohican?
A mullet or a Mohican? Mullet, Mohican.
I'd probably go for a Mohican. I feel like I'm more a Mohican kind of person, you know?
Okay, all right, Mohican, Hetty. Would you rather only use chopsticks to eat or have someone feed you?
Oh, okay.
Like the aeroplane.
Yeah, someone could feed me. You could feed me while I like sit there and play on my phone and stuff and don't even have to use my hands to eat, and that's really antisocial. Maybe I won't do that.
And it is just plain lazy.
Yeah.
Would you rather the only mode of transport that you could use was a donkey?
Okay.
We're going old school here. A donkey, or maybe go a little bit Egyptian, a camel.
Okay.
Donkey or a camel?
I like the idea of riding down the street on a camel. You know, like everybody looking at you being like, whoa, that person's on a camel. And then people would like take photos and you'd be all over the internet.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I wouldn't like that. However, I've got short legs and it'd be a lot easier to get on a donkey.
It would be. Have you ever ridden either of them?
Yeah, both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've never ridden either.
There was like a little ladder to get on the camel because, you know, I needed that.
A camel ladder.
Your camel ladder.
Last one, bringing it back to what we're talking about today then. Would you rather stay up really late, have loads of fun, be a bit of a party animal or whatever, stay up gaming, do whatever you like, and have a nice long lie-in in the morning? Or would you rather go to bed early, be boring, and get up? This isn't weighted at all.
Wow.
And then get up really early in the morning so you can get lots of things done.
Well, when you put it like that, I really like mornings. I really like getting up and getting stuff done.
Yeah.
But the way you put it made it sound like, you know, I could have fun in the evening, stay up late and just have a lie-in because I have nothing to do, which, if that's the option, yeah, sure.
Well, we are going to be talking a little bit about this today because rest is one of those things that we tend to just forget about a little bit and not really give it the focus that we should.
Like with mental health in general, we kind of know what we should do, don't we?
Yes.
Like we hear all the time,
all the
like eat healthy food, exercise, do positive things that we enjoy, help others, get outdoors, chat to people we love, rest, be thankful, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
But actually, sometimes we'd rather do other things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't give them the time that they deserve. But actually, often, you know, it could be because it's easier to stay under that warm duvet, watching films and box sets all day, rather than, you know, facing how we feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes people actually are struggling so much that it's really hard to get out of bed. And, you know, for a lot of people, and for me, often I struggle to do some of those things because I'm tired.
Yeah, and often when you have stayed in bed, like, and had a lie-in, I sometimes feel like I'm more tired during the day.
Yeah.
But one of the things that could make the biggest difference to our health and well-being, but people like me generally seem to care least about it, is sleep.
True, because getting enough rest and sleep improves our mood, gives us more energy, helps us to make better food choices, makes us more likely to want to chat to others. It essentially helps us do all the things that we just mentioned that we know will improve our mental health.
So for some people watching this, maybe you don't struggle with sleep. Maybe you're the sort of person that can just drop off fine. These days I can. When I was a teenager, I had fairly bad insomnia actually, and I struggled. Hetty, you've been going through a bit of sleep problems and stuff.
I've just been really tired lately.
And so you've been doing a lot of reading up on sleep tips and helps and things that you could try and put into practice. And so what we thought was in this video we would share some of what Hetty's learned, some of her helps and tips, some of the things that she's put into practice or is trying to that you might just be able to try out as well. So Hetty, tip number one.
So number one is routine.
Ooh, routine.
Okay, so remember I'm not an expert, but I'm just trying this stuff for myself.
Yeah.
So routine, because our bodies kind of work on a 24-hour-ish kind of internal clock.
Yeah.
And our bodies and our minds love routine. Like, it's really good for them. And with sleep, if we go to bed at the same time and we get up at the same time every day, even at weekends, which is really quite difficult. I think it's quite difficult. Then we'll have far more energy and alertness. We'll feel better overall. Like you said earlier, when you sleep in, sometimes you actually feel more tired.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I have another nap.
And actually, that's true. Yeah. And actually, by having that routine, it can be a lot easier. And I've been testing this out lately, which is actually quite tiring at the start because I don't always get to sleep so well.
No.
So I'm trying to go to bed at the same time, which I am doing, but I'm not sleeping so well. So then I'm getting up in the morning at the same time every day.
Yep.
But I'm still at the moment in that kind of tiredness phase, but I am getting better. I'm definitely starting to feel more alert in the day. Feeling, actually, I want to speak to people more. That's a sign that I actually have slept better.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better.
That's cool. So getting a bit of routine in there, even if it feels like you have to be a bit more disciplined, sometimes it is totally worth it. Got another tip for us?
Yeah, number two, get enough sleep. I will gradually get there with this one.
Sleep.
Get enough sleep. Because one of the reasons people sleep in on the weekends is because they haven't had enough sleep in the week.
Right.
And especially, if like we talked about earlier, you like to watch films or chat to friends or game late into the evening.
Yeah.
And one thing we need to recognise, I know you don't want to hear it, is that actually teenagers apparently need more sleep than adults.
Wow.
Yeah, there's lots of schools of thought around sleep. Lots of people have different opinions. But generally, the experts suggest that adults need 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but teenagers need 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
8 to 10 hours?
Which might mean for some people going to bed earlier than they usually would. But all of these things are just worth a try.
Yeah.
Worth a try. Give it a go. And if it helps, it might make you want to get enough sleep and go to bed a little early.
That might help you out. You never know. Let's see. You got another tip for us?
Yeah. Number 3 is make the evenings darker and the mornings lighter.
They're already dark and light though.
Yes, but in our houses we have lights on all the time.
Oh, I see.
And so our bodies kind of struggle to know whether it's night and day.
Right.
So if you turn your lights down in the evening.
Like get the dimmer switch
you've got a dimmer
on,
switch,
romantic film on.
No, you don't need to do. No, you don't need to do that. You could light candles if you're safe with them. Anyway, it's important that we signal to our minds and bodies that it's time for bed. And we stop using our electronic devices like an hour or so before bed. I know, it's really hard and
Who is this woman?
I know, we struggle. I have been doing it though, because apparently the blue light that they produce, the electronic devices, they block melatonin, which is a chemical that kind of induces sleepiness, makes people feel sleepy. Okay. And whatever you're watching or doing will keep your mind active and you're thinking about what you're doing, or sometimes you get sucked in and you don't end up going to sleep because you're busy doing whatever you were doing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I've been trying it. Like, I used to think this was like, this doesn't happen to me.
Yeah.
Because there's certain games that I'd play on my phone at night and think, this makes me feel sleepy. And I felt like it did make me feel sleepy, but then I couldn't actually get to sleep.
So you were sleepy, but you couldn't sleep?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because of that, I've been putting my phone away, trying to dim the lights and that kind of thing. And I have found that actually that's been helpful. And then in the morning, turning the lights on, opening the curtains. I like to go outside and have a walk in the sun, or not sun, daylight, let's call it daylight, in the daylight, because that signals to your brain that it's the morning. And I'm trying to get that sleep-wake kind of cycle back.
Okay, so having that cycle, your dark nights and your light mornings and okay, cool, all right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's worth trying. Maybe the whole no screens thing. I mean, they now at least they have the feature now where you can change the colours, which helps a little bit apparently, but not as much as just finding an alternative.
Yeah.
But okay, got any more tips?
Yep. Number 4. Wind down.
Wind down. Wind down, you. Wind down.
Because most people can't just get into bed and fall asleep. I've always been like, oh, I wish I could do that.
Sometimes I can, if I'm tired enough.
But to help our bodies and our minds prepare for sleep, it's recommended that like half an hour to an hour before you go to bed, you kind of do some positive things to wind down, like taking a warm bath or shower, because that kind of lowers your core body temperature, it makes you feel sleepier and ready for bed. Perhaps, read a book, listen to an audio book or some music, colour, do puzzles, write in a journal, or there's like specific apps like Headspace that can help you wind down and relax. But whatever you do, it's best to choose something that you actually like doing. Otherwise, you're probably not gonna want to do it, So I like to listen to audiobooks.
I hate this thing, I'm gonna do it.
Doesn't make sense. So do something you're actually gonna want to do. And personally, as a Christian, I find that praying helps me to focus on expressing what I'm thankful for and sharing what I'm struggling with, which I think helps my mind get into a better place for sleeping.
Nice.
And in the Bible, in a book called Matthew, Jesus says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." And I do feel more rested when I share my struggles with God through prayer, and I spend some moments just not dwelling on those worries because I've shared them. I find that helpful. Perhaps you could find something like that helpful too.
Yeah, okay. So those are some cool ideas for winding down, whatever it is that you might do. Like you suggested praying and things like that, or maybe even just writing down your worries. There's all sorts of things you can do, and different things help different people. And faith can play a big part in that, can't it? One more tip, Betsy.
Yeah, it's got to be 5.
It's got to be 5.
You can't have 4 tips.
I did a video with 4 tips once, and the rip I got from that was...
Oh dear, you've got to have 5 tips. Tip number 5 is get active.
Active?
Get active.
Ooh.
So people think about that in terms of mental health and activity helps, which it does, but it helps with sleep specifically as well.
Well, you can't fall asleep when you're jogging, though, can you?
No. If you like exercise late into the evening, it's really unhelpful apparently.
Oh, okay.
But if during the day you get active, you do something physically active, it will help you to sleep better at night. Because, exercise, it does help our mental health overall, but the thing is, you've got to make sure you do something you're actually going to want to do. Because if you hate running, don't force yourself to run, because you're just not going to go out and do it.
I hate that, I'm going to do it.
With all these things, try and make it as easy as possible for yourself.
Yeah.
So if you like listening to music, go for a walk and listen to your music. That's much more enjoyable than do something you hate. Or if restrictions allow, going and doing a sport that you enjoy, doing something you're actually going to want to do. Make all these things as easy as you can for yourself.
So those are 5 tips that you might want to try if sleep is something that you feel like you need to work on in order to have maybe more improved mental health. Maybe they're especially helpful if you are in those times when we're homeschooling and looking at screens quite a lot. You might be more tempted to not want to look at a screen of an evening. But it is also important to remember to rest. But also remember that there's people around us that can support us through all sorts of stuff. And we are here because we want to support you through the big issues of life and faith. And so if you do want to connect more with what we're doing, our videos and things, you can always follow us on Instagram or subscribe on YouTube. Keep yourself notified as to what we've got going on. There's also loads of fun stuff as well.
True.
because we do try and have some fun instead of just sleeping and telling you not to look at your phone.
Yeah.
But hopefully, maybe we'll see you at some point soon.
Yeah.
Bye!
Bye!